it's lovely to meet you, and I'm so happy I'm speaking with you about Schmigadoon. I want to ask you, so you've been involved in some pretty campy productions throughout your career, hence why you have such a huge LGBTQ plus following. Where does Schmigadoon rank for you on the camp scale, do you think?
Oh, I think it's really high. I think it's gone all the way over to here. I love this. Like this is where I live. This combines my love of musical theater and comedy, television comedy, and puts them all together into one. So this is like this niche little gem of a project that I am so happy that I am a part of.
And in both seasons of the show, Josh and Melissa are kind of flabbergasted by the absurdity of Schmigadoon and Chicago.
Right.
It kind of feels like when heteronormativity meets queerness in a way. And I was wondering if that's a metaphor that you've picked up on.
Very interesting. I think I love that the show is written with so much heart and love for musical theater. And yet, by having the two characters of Josh and Melissa come in as outsiders, being able to then make the hilarious commentary on what is the entity of musical theater makes it live in this sort of comedy space that I absolutely delight in.
And this season is a bit grittier than season one, with how it pays homage to musical theatre. So what was it like kind of channeling that darkness?
These musicals that we cover in season 2, the 60s and 70s are the ones that influenced me the most as I was growing up in musical theater and loving those musicals, the Gwen Verdons, the Cheetah Riveras, the Bob Fosse's, the Michael Bennett's. This was it. So for me, so I relished in all of it. I love that we can wear fishnets and garter belts and hold a press conference at noon.
And why do you think queer audiences in particular have kind of taken to the show? Why do you think they enjoy it so much?
Well, I hope they do because I really think we make this with so much love for that community, really. I feel like, well, I think you guys know what's great and cool and you know what's great entertainment. So I hope you guys are watching. I hope the whole community is watching. That would be what we're making it for. We hope that you delight and love it. I feel like because I grew up surrounded in that world and in the musical theater world, I think I take such pride and delight in entertaining that community. It
And
means a
that's why
lot to me.
you're a queer icon amongst us queers. Trust me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jane. Thank you for speaking with me. And yeah, I love this season. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Such a pleasure.
So watching this series, Josh and Melissa are kind of flabbergasted by the absurdity of Schmigadoon and Chicago, and it kind of feels like when heteronormativity meets queerness.
Totally. Yes.
Do you think
Yeah, no, it's funny. I've never thought about that. I'm gonna be thinking and watching with that point of view. But it's totally true. I mean, I think that like this show is so campy and it's full of so much levity and so much like safety. And I think that there is sort of a comparison there between, like the sort of like missing language link between a lot of heteronormativity and queerness, right? It's like the sort of like completely lost in translation sort of thing, especially, and it's reflecting a lot right now with everything that's going on, unfortunately. But I've never thought about that. Now I have to go think about
That's
that.
so true. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, the LGBTQ plus community and especially drag are under attack right now.
Yeah.
So, and watching the show, it's kind of impossible to deny the role that drag has in musicals.
Yeah.
So, how important is it that we have media like this at this current moment in time? That shows the power of drag and how much joy it can bring.
I mean, I think it's everything.
Yeah, it's as you say that, it's so woven into the fabric of so much of what we know about musical theater, and especially these musicals, right? I think like so much of cabaret and like this, like the club acts and like the way that that's kind of such a part of the language of musical theater. I mean, that is drag performance, right?
Yeah, and how transformative, cabaret was at the time for queer visibility. Like we were speaking about this yesterday. We think we need more queer visibility in musicals. We need more like overtly, openly gay, characters in our musicals. We don't have as many as I think we all would have hoped at the time that cabaret premiered.
Yeah.
But I think that right now with how media focused everybody is, it's more important than ever to inundate the media with drag performances, with openly queer characters, people, humans, personalities, music, messaging, anything that you can think of, because media is controlling everything. It's affecting everybody. And so if we can, illuminate and translate and represent, not only to combat everything that's going on, but also just to sort of create a safe space for young queer people everywhere. It's more important than ever that we have safe queer spaces. And so much of that is media.
And to flood it with positive, examples and positive reinforcement and how this is wonderful and all of this, because all that the other people are doing is, creating a
narrative
hysteria
based
with
on
a narrative that's not true, right? So the more positive images we can put forward, the better, I think.
Yeah, completely.
Yes to all of that. Season 2 is darker and more grittier than season 1 because of the musicals that it pays homage to. So what was it like for you both kind of channeling that darkness?
It was the best.
Easy.
Yeah. This is like our
Too
favorite
easy.
era of musicals. So I just think it allows the world to be bigger, right? Like Schmigadoon was wonderful, but it was like it was in a box because those musicals kind of put you in a box, right? And all the characters in a box. So this just kind of blew the walls off of that in every sense of the word. And, it's darker, it's sexier, it's funnier, it's all of those things. But it also, as we're talking about, you're able to layer in real social messaging that, hopefully is what great theater does, is that after you watch it, you think about something that you necessarily didn't even know you were watching. So I hope that that the show can do that a bit as well.
Dove, Aaron, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and I love this season. I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, you've been in quite a few campy productions in your life, but where does this rank for you on the scale of camp?
On the scale of camp, I don't know that I would call this camp. I think this is, it's definitely a wink and a smile, cheeky. But it is, how to articulate this? In our affection for musical theater, there is a seriousness and a extreme dramatization that must take place, which requires a great deal of focus. But the whole of the thing gives the appearance of frivolity, darkness, and sinisterness. But for me, camp is more like no more wire hangers. It was just so over the top. What is that movie called? What is that woman?
I'm stuck now.
Dearest.
Yeah.
That to me, that's camp. Anyways, but this was probably to date the most satisfying creative experience I have ever had.
Really?
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%.
And this season is kind of like a darker and grittier take on musical theatre. So what was it like for you to kind of channel that darkness through your role as the narrator?
Oh yeah. Okay. I I was I was going through a very dark patch in my personal life, and it was eating me alive, and so I had some place to put that energy. So I was so grateful for Chicago. I needed my own Chicago, and I got it, and that's my answer.
I think we all need to enter the land of Schmigadoon. I could do with Schmigadoon vacay right now, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
just make sure you don't kill anybody.
Yeah. In both seasons, Josh and Melissa are kind of flabbergasted, right, by the absurdity of Schmigadoon and Schmigadoon. It kind of feels like when heteronormativity meets queerness, and I was wondering if that was like a metaphor
That is an astute observation. It is that is so spot on, especially for people who are not theater folk. That is how they will find consuming this piece, and also your assessment of heterosexuality, observing queerness. It does seem over the top, and or not even over the top. It seems so other and outside of your world that of course it'll appear over the top, but only because of the extremities in the differences, not because it is innately over the top.
Yeah, it's like when you take your straight friend to a drag performance. That's kind of Schmigadoon.
Yeah, sure.
Tituss, thank you so much for chatting with me. I really loved this season and I can't wait for everyone to watch it. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you. Nice to see you.